with him. What are your strengths together?
Well, I think the strength is that they address certain security threat or security. They address the security solutions that we need to send to our resellers, and in turn, our resellers bring to their customers. And you could, if you saw the slides earlier, the presentation slides, you know, they actually are solutions that are complementary, and they do have their strengths in mitigating and detecting, mitigating threats. So that's where I see the partnership between Exclusive Networks, Imperva, and Logarithm, which in turn will really address the needs of our resellers in the country.
And if I can add, I don't know if you noticed, Atto presented their CALM architecture. CALM is a, you know, an overall scheme of things to mitigate a lot of, and it's not just two of us fighting the war, right? We are together, and plus others, which is represented by Exclusive Networks. If I could just humbly add it.
Yeah, thank you. Because if I were to do that, I'd also take a lot more time.
And he's gonna start singing.
Yeah, and lunch is coming soon, so I don't want to be between that. Or we don't.
Thank you.
Region.
Yes.
The mic's not working.
Nadina, also from the Inquirer, with that. Mr. Garcia, I have a question. Is your partnership with Imperva and Logarithm exclusive for the Philippines, or is this a global initiative by Exclusive Networks?
It is a global initiative actually, because the partnership with Imperva and Logarithm actually, from my knowledge, was initiated in EMEA. We're actually Exclusive Networks, actually, it's a French company, and so that it started there, and then they went down as Andrew mentioned. There was already a relationship in Thailand with my counterpart, or our counterpart office there, and so it did from there, based on the contractual basis. They said, okay, let's try seeing now the full group in APAC or in ASEAN can now do both products, and that's where it is.
Thank you.
If I can further add, I mean, on a personal level, Atto and all his colleagues in the region, without giving away my age, I've known them for many, many years. And
I'd like to give out my age too.
27.
and I think more importantly is they're well known in the marketplace. They're well known to provide cybersecurity and value-added services, and they're well known to have resources to have, be it training, be it integration, be it support. I think those are the most important factors when we look at it beyond the friendship or the whiskey that we have.
If I may have another question for Mr. Ang and Mr. Draper. How do you compare our national cybersecurity plan with the cybersecurity plans of the other countries? And if you're also familiar with our data privacy laws, can you also comment on that?
Well, I'm not the world's leading expert, so but I think, as I said, philosophically, answer the question like I answered before, that at least the government is making proactive steps. Now, some of the legislation, I'm not, as I said, I'm generally not an expert to even, but there are probably some things that I probably could sit down and talk about after. I may think from a technological point of view, and this is an Imperva perspective, what would be better in terms of, you know, saying this is mandatory, you have to do this, it's not mandatory. But the reality is, at least there's a step, and it's a very positive step, to bring in these standards and compliance and laws like that. Now, comparatively with some of the other countries, and I always come back because I live in Singapore, and the Monetary Authority of Singapore has their own regulations and compliance, and they are probably some of the toughest in the world for the banking financial service community. They have real teeth, and unfortunately, it's a carrot and a stick. You can encourage people to do it, but I do firmly believe that, you know, you need to have the stick as well. There needs to be a lot of unfortunate, you know, whether it be fines, or say in Singapore, the example would be that if a bank doesn't meet certain compliance standards, they can actually have their banking license taken away, they can be fined. So there's got to be real teeth to compliance and regulation, unfortunately, you know, to force companies to take it seriously. But to be honest, I'm not the expert to compare the two or understand it. But I'm saying that, just going back over the, it's a great step. They've done the right thing. There's even my own country, Australia, is probably to a certain extent my home country. Certain steps behind what's been achieved and done here today.
And from my knowledge, I think a lot of cooperation are happening at various levels, whether it's from the National Agency of Crime, Cybercrime. I think many nations are coming together to share best practices. And NIST, GDPR, whether or not, I do believe the Philippines government is all plugged into that, and they continue to evolve and move forward.
Thank you.
Oh, I think we have time for one more